Now, the resumption of schools after the holidays has also led to concerns about further spread in the United States. Starting this week, students have resumed in-person learning in schools which have reopened at full capacity. Masks are compulsory and some schools are planning to vastly ramp up testings among students and staff. But several teachers are asking officials to utilize distance learning while the latest wave is at its peak. A small number of schools have been switched to remote learning and 100 others have delayed this week's return to classrooms. Now, at least 5 metro area school districts will begin with remote learning this week. And in Washington, D.C., public schools remain shut until Thursday due to the winter storms. But New York has rejected the request from the teachers' union for remote learning.
What was happening behind the scene to get these schools open is really amazing. It's commendable of the city and their focus. We're gonna pivot. We're gonna shift. We're gonna adjust. We're gonna get it done. That's the bottom line. And we're gonna get these schools open, and our children are going to be safe. Yes.
As New York City's kids have returned to schools, parents have voiced concerns about the safety of being in the classrooms again, especially after the New Year's weekend and a massive surge in pediatric hospitalizations.
Honestly, it's a little, what's the word? It's a little too early to say just because we just came back from break. So it's like, give it a couple more days before we can see, just due to the variant being out and everyone still getting sick over the holidays.
So Omicron, again, is less virulent or dangerous than prior strains. And most children that get Omicron have no or mild symptoms. Rarely, children can progress to severe disease. It's rare, but it can happen. About 2% of the COVID hospitalizations in the United States are in children. So, it is very upsetting as a pediatric infectious disease doctor to see children in the hospital with COVID.
Now, remember, last year, the school disruptions had left many parents scrambling to find childcare. In New York, there are also a bunch of parents who have supported the full reopening of the schools and believe that schools are the safest space for children.
Just test more frequent, that's all. Just have the students, just test the whole building, the staff. Even if it takes 3 days just to go through the whole building, that's about it.
Earlier, we were joined by our correspondent Susan Tehrani from New York for more on this. Listen in.
Parents, again, very mixed on whether or not children should go back to school or not. And I think one aspect of the fact that the FDA decided to really get these booster shots approved for children ages 12 and older was for children to be able to go back to school. But, we'll have to wait and see how New York moves forward. But I think the state, at least, it's very adamant for schools to stay open. But as you mentioned, teachers, it's another story whether or not they feel safe coming back to school.